I bought two refurbished PlayStation 5 Pros from GameStop. One of them I bought, one of them a secret shopper bought, and today we're gonna see which one's worse. So this is the secret shopper box. Sounds okay, but this is the one that I bought. This one was received in damaged condition at Seattle Network Distribution Center, and when we give it a shake, it doesn't necessarily sound the best. Let's start with the secret shopper PlayStation 5, and then we'll get to this one. And I am opening the box for the first time. This is the PlayStation 5 Pro Digital White, store number 0194. So let's see what we have. Sony PlayStation 5 Pro console, all right. And we have a controller. That's actually in decent condition. Not bad so far. HDMI cable. This is a decent quality one. It's got the braiding on the outside. That's always cool. Power cable. Oh, we've got a USB-C cable. Okay. And actually, that's not too horrible of packaging. I'm not sure how to... Okay, the whole thing comes out. So we've got this foam padding here. All right. And here's our console. I did hear something kind of rattling around in there, but it did stop, so that's good, I guess. HDMI port looks good. And, you know, got a little bit of scuffing on it, but the amazing thing is nothing is sanded so far. Let's check the controller. Hey, they didn't sand the controller. That's amazing. I am totally on board with that. That's one of the things I've always disliked about GameStop refurbished products is they'll usually take and just sand and scuff the whole thing. I get why they do it so it has a uniform look and feel, but I just hate the look and feel of it. So I'm super glad that they didn't do that to this. Next, let's hook it up and make sure it works, and then we'll take it apart and see if this has been opened before and what repairs were done. Okay, let's see if it powers on. We do have power. This says Xbox just because that was the last thing that was plugged in. Let's make sure we get a signal with the PS5. It turned off. Okay. Coming on, and it is now turned off. Okay, so when I press the button, the fan will come on and it'll kind of start up and then it just turns off. So that's not a good start. Let's get the covers off and see if it's been taken apart, and if so, what's been done. Okay, no evidence of issues so far. Everything looks pristine. Good so far. Warranty sticker is intact even. That's some sort of... I don't know what that is. Something hit that hard though. So this was marked as refurbished. The box said pre-owned. So I think they just use refurbished and pre-owned. Those terms just kind of interchangeably. I don't think they actually pay attention to which is which. Okay, and fan out. That all looks good, and the fan did work, so I'm not too worried there. And so this is kind of a tamper indicating sticker, and it has not been tampered with. I am the first one to tamper with it. Now I will say, and to GameStop's credit, according to what they say online, they do offer a 7-day money-back guarantee. So I can just return this and get my money back, which is good. I wish that guarantee was a little longer, but it is what it is. At least they do offer one. All right, and nothing crazy so far. Everything looks totally normal. All right, and after we get those 39 totally necessary screws out, we can start prying up on this. That is on there tough. Mostly because of all of this thermal paste here. Okay, and I see 0 issues so far. 2 more screws to remove and this ribbon cable. And then the clamp, and then we can see the other side of the board. Now, we should be able to pull the board up. Can hear the thermal paste letting go. Okay, there we go. And That all looks great. I don't see any evidence of liquid metal spilling anywhere. So I'm actually very surprised that this one is just not turning on. The liquid metal is all in place. There's actually not a dry spot on this one. It looks like maybe right here, possibly one is starting, but I don't know about that for sure. So the first thing I want to try with this is replacing the power supply. Unfortunately, these are pretty new and I don't have a stock of parts yet. So I think what I want to do is open up the other PS5 Pro and see if that one works. And if it doesn't, we can steal the power supply out of that one. So let's get that one opened up. So this is what I bought. I paid $669 for this Sony PlayStation 5 Pro. I'm not a Pro Rewards member or whatever they call it, so that's the price I paid. Brand new, they're $699, so really only say 30 bucks for this. Now I also bought this Microsoft Series X Halo Infinite limited edition for $479, but unfortunately, that hasn't shipped yet. They said it was in stock and they had it when I bought it, but it has not been shipped out. I actually bought this back on December 10, and this box just arrived a couple days ago. So this thing has been in transit for weeks, over a month. So it's no surprise that the box is in the condition that it's in. I'm pretty sure this Xbox is never gonna show up for that price. The one that's in this box is the one that I assumed would have a problem because of the condition it's in. So hopefully it doesn't, or else we just have two broken PlayStation 5 Pros. Okay, we just got the packing slip. We have a controller. Also not sanded. That is amazing. I'm super happy about that. It's cool they include these thumbstick protectors here. HDMI and power. They look to be in good condition. Okay, and HDMI port looks good on this one. We got a purple sticker, not sure what that's for. This looks to be in good condition, but will this one start up? Let's find out. All right, here we go. Fan? It is staying on, but not showing a signal on the screen. Let's restart my HDMI hub. Oh, it's turned off. Yeah, that'll do it. Okay, and here we go. Unfortunately, this box didn't come with the cable, but we'll steal the cable from the other one. See if this controller works. Okay, it actually does. And this PlayStation 5 Pro is all working. The controller's working good. Let's get it taken apart so we can see if they did anything to the inside, and so we can steal the power supply out of this one and put it into that one. And this one also has never been opened before. So it looks like they're selling these refurbished ones as refurbished, even though they're definitely not refurbished. They're just used. Again, like I said, I think they're just using refurbished and used interchangeably on their website. Or pre-owned, I guess, technically. It is interesting that the one that I bought through the TronicsFix name is the one that does work. I mean, there's no way to know whether that's why or not, but I mean, that still is the facts. I do know that GameStop knows who I am, they know my channel, because one of the first GameStop videos I did, they actually contacted me about it. So I know that they know I exist and that I do videos reviewing their products. But I don't know if they pay attention to who's making orders. All right, let's check out the liquid metal on this one. Come on. And that also doesn't look too bad. Not bad at all. All right, let's get down to the power supply and steal that and put it in to the non-working PlayStation 5. Okay, there's two screws underneath here. Once we remove those, we can remove this heatsink assembly. This thing is crazy. It's just got so many heat pipes. Once that's done, we are down to the power supply and we'll just steal that. So here we are with the non-working console. Take the power supply out of that and we'll install the known working one. There we go. Now we'll get this one back together and see if it works when we're done. Extra heat sink on the top And that is close enough to try and start it up and see what it does. Okay, I'm gonna watch the fan and see how long it stays on. Let's press the power and see what happens. Blue light, fan. Wait, it's staying on so far. And it's turning on! So this PlayStation 5 Pro had a faulty power supply. I feel like it's unlikely that a power supply is gonna go bad in shipping. It definitely is possible, so I can't say for sure that it's GameStop's fault, but at the same time, I think it would be pretty easy for them to just take in a PlayStation 5 Pro and then ship it out without testing. There was no sheet saying it was tested or anything like that, so I don't know, you tell me what you think in the comments. If you like this type of video, I'm gonna do a very similar video for DK Oldies where I buy something and I have a secret shopper buy the same thing and see which one is better. The PS5 Pro that I bought definitely was better than the one that the secret shopper bought. Is that because GameStop knew that I was buying it and so they tested it extra? Unfortunately, only GameStop can answer that question. Once I have that DK Oldies video filmed, I'll put it up on your screen and see whether DK Oldies sends me the better one or the secret shopper the better one. Thanks so much for watching today, and I hope you have a good one.